What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another episode of NBA Weekly. I am your host, Pee Wee the Plug, 1/4 through the wire, number one Knicks fan in the world, aka Mr. Know-It-All. And the Milwaukee Bucks are officially one win away from potentially competing in the NBA Finals against the Phoenix Suns. Tonight was an interesting night, for better or for worse. It's a night where both teams don't have their best player and their leader and the guy that's played a significant part in getting them this far. Obviously, the Hawks, without Trae Young for, this game and even last game. And then the Bucks without Giannis Antetokounmpo for the first time. It's tough. It's very tough. And with that even happening and going on, the Bucks stepped up. You know what I mean? The Bucks stepped up. And they won this game as they should. And if the series were to continue without these two stars, even though I do predict and don't see Trae Young missing out or sitting out on a game 6, facing elimination, it's hard for me to picture that Trae Young won't play, especially when he already missed 2 games. Giannis is hard to predict, hard to look into because we're not getting much information with that injury as we would expect. We do know it's nothing torn or nothing like that. So no surgery, anything should be needed that I would know of. But as far as an update or a timetable, I have no idea if Giannis will even play the rest of the series or not. It's just so hard to tell because they're just so tight-lipped. They're kind of the same way with the Clippers were with Kawhi Leonard. Just very tight-lipped, taking it slow, not really saying much, or just giving us game-by-game updates. But without both of these star players leading these teams, the Milwaukee Bucks are significantly better than the Hawks. No slight to Giannis or anything, but the Hawks need Trae more than the Bucks need Giannis. Because when you look at the Bucks roster, they still have all-star quality players. Hawks, on the other side, they have guys that have stepped up, and because of playing with Trae Young, they've played better, but they're not there yet. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Huerter, Bogdanovich, those guys, even John Collins, they're not the players that Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton are, and even to a lesser degree, Brook Lopez. I mean, granted, Brook Lopez turned the clock back a little bit and played like, New Jersey / Brooklyn all-time leading scorer, Brook Lopez, with 33 tonight, which is unexpected as hell, but it was nice to see for the Bucks. The Hawks just don't have those type of guys. The Hawks have guys who can step up and give you quality buckets and quality production around your star, but they just don't have guys who are going to lead the pack through. So tonight was a good game for Bogdanovich. He has those type of moments. Gave you 28. 17 from Lou Will is definitely Lou Will type vibes, but you're usually getting that off the bench because Gallinari gave you 19. So imagine in a night where you have Trae, you're getting 19 and 17 potentially from Lou Williams. That's a big boost off the bench. But now that you don't have Trae Young, you got Lou Williams playing 35 minutes. Nobody really coming in behind him at the guard spot. Chris Dunn plays 7 minutes. You know what I mean? So he's playing a bulk of the minutes at 35. Gallinari gave you 19 and 22 minutes. Cam Reddish only played 22 minutes. I'm guessing minutes restricting due to the injury. And you got guys just playing out of character. Kevin Huerter, 3 of 12, not really knocking shots down and not being able to play that floor spacing 3-point threat that he usually is. And kind of tonight turned into their playmaker, leading the team with 7 assists, but 8 points in 37 minutes for Kevin Huerter just isn't usually what you want. John Collins, solid with 19 and 8. And then Capella only playing 21 minutes and giving you 6 and 8. Okongwu only playing 15 and giving you 6 and 6. Just not ideal. And they only lost by 11, but it just shows you that everything that happened this game for the Hawks is standard, cool. It's no really blame. They shot the ball pretty decent from 3 at 39%. They got to the line. My bad. I almost read the wrong stat, but they got to the line a fair amount and shot nearly 80% from the line. So they played a solid game. One thing that I will say is 14 turnovers is tough. 14 turnovers is tough. You got 6 from Lou Williams. Lou Williams had more turnovers than assists, which is something that you don't want from somebody that's playing your lead guard position. And then on the flip side, for the Bucks to only have 8, so you turned the ball over double digits, and then your opponent held their turnovers below double digits is usually a hard way to win a game. But then on the flip side, like I said, the all-star quality players that the Bucks do have led the charge, played well, and then they got good supporting cast games. For Bobby Portis to be inserted into the starting lineup and giving you 22-8 is big. Like I mentioned, Brook Lopez giving you 33-7 is the hugest thing in the playoffs for the Bucks. That's bigger than when Brent Fulmer was lighting up the Heats. And then Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton almost both had a triple-double apiece, with Middleton giving you 26, 13, and 8. Holiday giving you 25, 6, and 13. That's just, that's 21 assists among two players. And then they combine together to give you only 3 turnovers. 21 assists to 3 turnovers is crazy. That's very impressive. Shot the ball super efficient. 10 of 20 for Chris Middleton, giving him 50% from the field. 45% for Drew Holiday. 77% for Brook Lopez. 45% from Bobby Portis. And even PJ Tucker, who didn't take too many shots. He only shot 5 times, but still shot 40% from the field. They just had a good recipe of winning basketball. They rebounded the ball well, with PJ Tucker giving you 11. Middleton, like I said, gave you 13. They didn't turn the ball over, and they forced turnovers. And that's the name of the game. Protecting the ball, forcing turnovers, and rebounding the ball well is a recipe to win. And that's not even me mentioning the efficiency that they shot as a team. But like I said, the Bucks without Giannis is a far better team than the Hawks without Trae Young, and it's glaring. So I'm hoping that both players can play in the next game, but I'm extremely hopeful for the Hawks that Trae Young will be able to at least play, even if it's Trae Young at 60-70%. It's better than them losing the depth at the guard position and having Lou Williams play 35, 36 minutes. And then also, they don't really have anybody that's creating shots throughout the consistency of the flow of the game. That's one of the underrated things about Trae Young is that, yeah, he can shoot it far, he can score, but he creates so many easy looks. When he's engaged, when he's going, when his shot is falling, he's aggressive and he's scoring, the game opens up so much. And that's what people mean when they talk about the game opening up. When you have a point guard that's as lethal as Trae Young, offensively scoring triple threat score, 3-level score, damn near 4 levels because of his range. The floater game, the transition playing with speed, pick and roll, the gravity he brings to the floor or creates with his shot making ability. It's just so many different options. You know what I mean? You get the ball to him and transition, you go. You got shooters running to the corners. You got him being a threat to pull up. You got the pick and roll with a lob action. If the defense helps, he kicks it out to Bogdanovich or Gallinari. If they don't, he takes and he floats it. Without him, they don't really have anybody as dynamic that can create so many different looks and put constant pressure on the defense. As good as Lou Williams is as a shot creator and a shot maker, he doesn't put that amount of pressure on the defense. Kevin Huerter doesn't put that amount of pressure on the defense. Bogdanovich doesn't put that amount of pressure on the defense because these guys aren't the playmaking guards that Trae Young is. And to be honest, off the dribble wise at least, they're not the shot makers that Trae Young is either. So you take him out and there's nobody to constantly put pressure on the defense, nobody that's getting you easy looks. You know what I mean? And then you look at the flip side for the Bucks. As important as Giannis is, because he is important, he's a 2-time MVP for that reason, the Defensive Player of the Year. And with him, this team has been in contention over the last few years. He's the reason that this team has won 50-plus games. They may have won 60 in a year. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they've been a winning team over the last few years because of Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I'm not going to get on camera and disrespect this man and pretend that he isn't significant or important for this team. But his game isn't to create and put pressure on defenses as much as it is for Trae. So you take out Giannis and you still have a guy like Chris Middleton, who's a shot creator, 3-level scorer. You have an all-star guard with Drew Holiday who can knock down shots, create as well. And you have a floor spacing big and Brook Lopez who decided to turn the clock back and be the all-star big that he was with the Nets. So that's a winning recipe for a playoff win like tonight, which was much needed for them. I think this gives them confidence because the Bucks can be a iffy team. They can be unpredictable. You don't know what those guys that I named are going to give you on a day-by-day basis. game by game basis. But now that Giannis is out and they've had these performances, maybe you feel confident enough, no matter what Giannis is feeling or what what that's like, what that situation is like, you can still sit him, go out in Game 6 in Atlanta, and take this confidence and try to parlay it into a win without Giannis to keep him off his feet or off his legs for as much as possible before you try to enter the NBA Finals. That's personally what I would do. I love the effort and the energy Bobby Portis gave you. I wouldn't expect Brook Lopez to give you another 33, but I think if Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday can control the game and be as, impactful as they were in this game, you can still go in Atlanta and steal one. Because like I said, the absence of Trae is very, very important. And even if he does play, I doubt he will be at 100%. And if you can have him out there being limited as possible with a defender like Jrue Holiday, I think you can go out there and get a win in their home court and advance to the NBA Finals while allowing Giannis to get healthy before he has to take the floor for the finals. That's hoping that Giannis can return to these playoffs. Definitely wouldn't get my hopes up to see him returning to these playoffs. I mean, not these playoffs, this playoff series. But I'm definitely hopeful and wishful and expecting him to, if they win in advance, be able to play in the finals. When you get guys at this level, like Giannis and Kawhi, everything is just top secret, man. It's just top secret, and then you get little reports from this person, that person, and you don't know what to believe and what not to believe. So, like I said, that would be my route to go. Try to play another one without Giannis. If you have the option, for all I know, they have no choice. And try to do the same thing, man. Protect the ball, be efficient, and make them turn it over. The hard part about it is if Trae Young does play and he's better than I expect, I'm saying 60-70. If he's at 85%, then you may have a problem with it. The Atlanta Hawks can now flip the series and force a Game 7, and they would have to be hopeful, as bad as it sounds, but I mean, their competitors, they would have to be hopeful that Giannis wouldn't be able to play in a Game 7, and maybe they can steal the series. The series is definitely still wide open as long as Trae Young can play, which I keep saying, I do not expect Trae. I didn't expect Trae Young to not play tonight. I didn't expect that. But to see the importance that he has in a game like this, even though they were able to steal the previous game, this is the reality of the Hawks right here. When they don't have Trae Young, they don't have these easy looks, easy baskets, and a player that can constantly put pressure on the defenses. And this is the reality of what that team looks like. I think the last game was a game where they played at home. They played confident. Shots fell early. It was a little tough for the Bucks. And honestly, I don't want to. I'm saying this very loosely, but the Bucks looked fluid out there without Giannis. Now, we all know the pros and how important Giannis is for them, but they definitely have a little bit better of a flow because there's a little bit more shooting with Giannis not being out there. But they have to find a way to get their groove and get their rhythm when Giannis is back inserted, because if they can play somewhat to this level with Giannis, they'll be pretty much unbeatable this year and next year going into the season. But I think that's been the tough part for Jrue Holiday. We get these games from Jrue Holiday where he steps up and he's scoring, and it's like, okay, that's the Jrue Holiday we expected when they got him from New Orleans. And then you have these games where Jrue Holiday is kind of, he's there with his presence defensively, but offensively it's kind of like, damn, where's Jrue Holiday at? So hopefully Jrue Holiday can start getting some rhythm, some confidence. They can find some ways to play. Maybe they start playing stretches of the game where they take Giannis out and let these guys run together. I don't know. I'm not trying to get on here and assassinate Giannis as a basketball player or give anybody the narrative to think that the Bucks are better without him, because clearly they're not. But I think when you can get these two going, like Chris Middleton, Jrue Holiday, even Bobby Portis and Brook. I mean, if Brook can give you stretches like this and it helps that Giannis isn't playing, that's something that Coach Bud is going to have to look into in the future. But we will see. Hopefully Giannis can get healthy. Definitely want a talent like him and Trae to be able to finish the series out. Hopefully Atlanta can steal one, because I'm a selfish basketball fan that wants to see every series go to 7. But next week, we will be in the finals. One of these two teams will be facing off with the Phoenix Suns, and it'll be the last series of the season. So I'm extremely excited. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully the next one is an exciting one. And like I said, hopefully both stars play. As always, I am Pee Wee the Plug, your host of NBA Weekly, and I am out. Peace.